Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Thanks for being with us. Hopefully the rest of the day goes better than the start of mine. It's one of those days where you hear some kind of irritating noise while you're sleeping and you just want to stop it. That's what happened with my alarm this morning. What is that irritating noise? And I got to it just in time to turn it off, and then an hour and 15 minutes later, I woke up. So I was late to begin with.
I bet you feel refreshed, though.
Not really, because it kind of ruins it when you're way late.
Oh, okay.
But, okay, that's all right. I'm pretty well prepared. I just have to organize, need an hour to organize. Still got plenty of time. Got to work. Started to look around for my computer bag.
Oh, no.
And I left it at home. Had to drive all the way back and get it, because that's where I've got all my stuff. And then all the way back here. So I got here about 30 seconds ago. And
give or take.
Yeah, give or take.
It's closer to 20.
But let me tell you about something that might help for these kinds of instances. Maybe you want to move closer to work. I don't know. Maybe, maybe you don't want to live way out in the hinterland suburbs. It's possible. You need a great realtor, somebody who can find you a great place to work, but still in a good neighborhood. You need a person who knows all those things. The neighborhoods, the market, how to sell your home, and great advice you can give.
You want a realtor who is familiar with the history of beaver infestations in neighborhoods as well.
Yeah. Yes, you do. And armadillo areas, because this morning as I'm pulling back out after I retrieved my computer bag, this gigantic armadillo walks right across my driveway. I'm like, wow, you're a brave, ugly one. Man, are they ugly.
Yeah.
Is there any animal uglier than an armadillo?
Of all the mornings for you to be running late,
I know,
where you didn't have time to sit there and hang out with an armadillo.
I know. I really wanted to shoo it away to get it off my property. I didn't have time. So it just wandered around wherever it wanted.
Wow, that's kind of fun.
In my backyard right now.
And you're looking at the clock and you're thinking,
yeah, I gotta go. I can't do this.
See, that's when you
I
hit
can't deal
record.
with the armadillo.
You hit record and put that on social media.
Yeah, I didn't have time to even think of it.
I don't know what we were talking about.
So if you want the kind of time you need to mess around with armadillos, get to work on time, even if you wake up an hour and 15 minutes late.
Yeah.
Go to Real Estate Agents I Trust. Real Estate Agents I Trust. The name says it all. RealEstateAgentsITrust.com.
Gray Unleashed.
Plus, supposedly, they carry leprosy, so you don't want to touch them. Right? I mean, I've heard both ways that that's not true and that it is true. So I don't know which is which, but I don't like armadillos. Are they only in Texas?
I mean,
It's the only place I've ever seen.
I don't know. They stop at the border and go, all right, boys.
Yeah, crap,
Oklahoma's off limits. I don't know.
You don't know if they do that?
Southwest, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I could look up a map and find out.
I don't know that it's that important, but if you want to.
I know fire ants get as far north as Kansas.
Do they?
And even some reports of southern Jersey.
Wow.
Get ready for those, y'all. Armadillo map.
They're hard to get rid of, too.
Wow, they go all the way up into southern Nebraska, armadillos.
Wow.
According to this.
Okay, they're not just in Texas, so you might have an armadillo
Southeast,
problem.
Yeah, my word.
We got the latest information from the nightmare going on in Israel. Jeez, 11 Americans have been confirmed dead. Plus they have some captive too, right? They kidnapped several.
Yeah, that I think is still
we don't know for
uncertain. Yeah. But really? We're over 1,300 death toll.
Oh, my gosh. 1,300.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, I don't know. I don't know how that's broken down. I don't know if that's all
that's
Israelis or...
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure it is just Israelis.
Yeah.
But it that's civilians and soldiers.
Israel's been busy in Gaza.
They have. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they have. And they should be right now. They should be. Hamas said they would kill a hostage for every innocent killed in Hamas territory. Now, they can kill all the innocents they want.
Right.
I guess that's how this works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
And do we have the Forbes headline from yesterday? Yeah, put that up. This deleted tweet from Forbes. This is interesting. It's full screen 5, Joseph. Check this out. Forbes tweeted out yesterday.
Mm-hmm. I'd love to check it out.
I'll just read it to you.
Okay.
Hamas threatens to execute Israeli civilian hostages for unprompted attacks on Gaza.
Unprompted attacks?
It would be more impactful if you could see the headline, which I think we're going to get. They deleted that tweet. There's been a lot of tweet deletion going on Twitter recently. There it is. There's the Forbes tweet. As you can see at the bottom.
From Forbes!
As you can see at the bottom. This post has been deleted.
Wow.
Yeah, you never know who's really working in your organizations, but congratulations to Forbes' Twitter account posting that. And then, you've got the CBC editor there saying that we don't need to be using the word terrorist when referring to Hamas.
Oh, we don't.
Don't need to be doing
What word should we use?
I don't know. Probably
folks.
What about freedom
as
fighter?
George W. Bush once did. Freedom fighter.
Freedom fighter. Because
militants.
Nothing says
folks.
Fighting for freedom like murdering children in front of their mom.
Right. Yeah.
Nothing says let's find justice for Palestine like butchering whole families.
Well, but that's going to make Israel really want to do whatever it is they want them to do. I think we've seen that over the years. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Yep. And Hamas released a video walking through how they were able to attack Israel with zero resistance.
Look at this. So they take out the gun towers there. Oh, boy. And surprised they didn't overlay this with. Look at that. Look at how they use drones to drop these explosives into these towers.
Clearly, a lot of help from Iran. Lots and lots of help from Iran. They don't have. Normally, Hamas doesn't have access to this kind of stuff, but
they're overwhelming the Iron Dome.
And look at that.
And
jeez.
While we're watching this, you mentioned how Hamas said, for every safe person that you kill, we're going to execute on live TV a hostage. That announcement came out, I don't know what it was about, middle of the day yesterday. And so obviously you would think there'd be time for the President of the United States to respond to that, especially if Americans are at risk. But Joe Biden called a lid on the day around 11:30 a.m.
Again?
Yeah. Like, good night.
That's 2 days in a row where
We're
the
done.
lid came down at 11:30.
And the thing is,
if you're not familiar with that term, that means you can't cover him the rest of the day. Yeah. Sorry, we're done. He's going back to bed.
You'd think there's some stuff happening in the world you might want to stay awake for.
Yeah,
if you're
you would think so.
Quote, leader of the free world, end quote.
He's so not the leader of the free world. He's not the leader of anything. He's the puppet of somebody behind the scenes. My suspicion is Barack Obama. CNN reporter Clarissa Ward was one of the journalists on the scene in Israel over the weekend. Yesterday, as Israel retaliated with missile strikes, she was on live.
Clarissa is on the ground right now. Clarissa, tell us what's happening.
Stand by.
Hi, John. So forgive me, I have a slightly unelegant position, but we have just had a massive barrage of rockets coming in here, not too far from us. So we have had to take shelter here by the roadside. We're just about 5 minutes away. Gaza is in that direction. We can hear now a lot of jets in the sky. We could also hear the Iron Dome intercepting a number of those rockets as they were whizzing overhead and making impact in that direction, not too far from here. We came to this location because this was ground zero for this entire operation of carnage. Hamas militants came on a pickup truck. This was the first place where they breached that border wall, and they basically drove down this strip just spraying lead wherever they went. We saw, in fact, I was just grabbing it before that happened and we had to hit the deck, but heavy weaponry being used. It's saying we can get up now. Where are we moving to? Sorry, just 1 second, guys. Okay.
Let's come up and go this way and then...
All right, so now I can show you the scene here. This is where those militants first came, opening up fire on all these vehicles. There's a baby carriage down there, turned over on its side. You can see over there, Clayton, if you just show in the distance there, some kind of strikes, looks like in Gaza as well. Return fire. Or is that the smoke from the rocket launches? Forgive me. It's a little difficult after being crouched in a ditch to know exactly what's been going on.
Yeah.
Boy.
I suppose. And here is what Gaza City is looking like right now after some responses.
Little drone footage there. Oh, boy.
Okay. Yep. A couple of buildings that are in disrepair now.
Mm-hmm. Is that looks kind of like a mosque with that tower there.
Could be. You know, they use mosques as launching pads for rockets, which turns them into a not mosque, but a military base. And so they tend to get attacked then. They do the same thing. I mean, they're so despicable. They use human shields all the time.
And don't forget that that quote from Benjamin Netanyahu we found yesterday. It said, "When Hamas lays down their weapons, there will be peace. When Israel lays down their weapons, there will be no Israel." And
you know that's
sums
true.
it up. Yeah,
it's absolutely true.
Yeah, I mean, she was talking about how they came through that town there. There was a town, Kibbutz Berry. I don't know how to pronounce it, but there's only 1,000 people that live there, and 108 members of that community are dead.
Over 10%.
10%, yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, this is
horrible.
But it's for justice for Palestine.
Right. A lot of people protesting on behalf of Palestine right now.
All over our own country.
Yeah. Seems like a really bad time for that. Very bad time for that.
Yeah. Carmine Sabia tweeted out yesterday, "Phone call I just got from someone who works with a diplomat. Frightened me, and not many things frighten me. Basically, I would not be in a big city for the next 12 months. Now, if you think about our open border and some of the passion that has been on display in our American cities, that's a stark warning."
Man. Wow. That is chilling, isn't it? Now, how many rounds do you want in your magazine? How many do you want to have? I mean, how many do you need?
Right.
How about if our administration doesn't tell us how many we need and they just leave the Second Amendment alone? How about that? Spend your time defending, not attacking the Second Amendment. The Anti-Defamation League's Jonathan Greenblatt went on MSNBC yesterday.
Boy.
And he wasn't bashing Glenn Beck or Elon Musk this time, so that's good to see, because he usually is. Two of his biggest defenders, certainly Glenn, has always defended Israel, has always been staunchly pro-Israel. But he also had some heartfelt words to say regarding what's happening in Israel.
Yeah, he's not happy.
Tell us, if you will, just what these last few days have been like for you and why it's so important that you are appearing here today with the Reverend Sharpton.
Well, so I will be honest and maybe a little more vulnerable than I normally would be. These have been some of the hardest days of my adult life. I don't ever remember a moment like this. I have family in Israel right now under siege and being deployed to the front lines. I have staff who can't locate their family. I have friends who are gone. And I think Ambassador Danone put it well in a context that Americans can understand. 9/11, the evil that was perpetrated here. But the scale, Jonathan, the right comparison is Nagasaki. This was like an atomic bomb. And as 40,000 people were killed in Japan when they dropped that bomb in Nagasaki, so too were the hundreds upon hundreds of people who were killed in Israel. And so while I am sad and trying to cope, I'll be honest, I am angry I am angry with the world that allowed the dehumanization of Israelis and sanitized the terrorism of Hamas. I must say, I love this show and I love this network. But I've got to ask, who is writing the scripts? Hamas? The people who did this, they are not fighters, Jonathan. They are not militants. And I'm looking right at the camera. They are terrorists. It is a barbarian who rapes and brutalizes women, who kills children in front of their parents, and then brings them over to Gaza, who literally, we've heard all these reports, and we know these aren't just reports. These were filmed gleefully by the barbarians who committed these grotesque crimes. They filmed, for example, an elderly woman in her home in one of these towns. They burned her alive in her house because she was too infirm to take out. And, parading women, bleeding from the crotch because they were raped throughout Gaza while people hoot and holler and cheer. So look, when we say, oh, this was an escalation, it was bound to happen, I am sorry. This was a massacre that was pre-planned. This was not destined to happen. It is not normal to shoot teenagers in the back, hundreds of them. So I just think, guys, get the story right. And all these pictures of missiles or the rubble in Gaza, please talk to the Israeli mothers and fathers who lost their children. Talk to the grandchildren whose grandparents were seized as hostages. And please stop calling this a retaliation. This is a defensive measure against an organization that is committed to one thing: killing Jews. Not a peaceful resolution of a conflict, but murdering Jews. And if you're wondering if I'm exaggerating, please, I beg of you, everyone watching and everyone at this network, just watch the footage.
Maybe you should learn who your friends are then. For you to say you love that show and that network who has turned their back on Israel and Jews 1,000 times, who continually turn their back on Israel and Jews, who have never supported them, and you instead attack the people who do support you, staunchly defend and support you. And now you're on that network telling them how much you love them?
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Who's writing the scripts over at MSNBC?
Right.
He asked. And I think in particular, host Eamon Moyeldin said that the attacks on Israel are due to, quote, people who have been living in Gaza being blockaded, besieged, decimated economically and politically. This is why they voted for Hamas in the first place, end quote.
Okay. Well,
then this is the bed you get to lie in.
Right. That's right. And they don't blockade Gaza Strip unless something like this happens. But they have left Gaza alone since 2006, at least. And we've been through why Israel has had to take the actions they've taken. I mean, 1,000,000 times.
But I hope you're right. I hope that he comes to his senses and realizes who his real friends are.
He's not going to.
As opposed to showing up repeatedly on a network to badmouth
Glenn Beck,
the right.
Yep.
Right. Who wants the best for those living in Israel, the Jewish state. But for him to go on a network, I mean, he said his piece there.
Yeah, and
now is he
everything
he
said was right.
Absolutely. So
except for, why do you love this network?
Are you going to stop going on there now, Jonathan?
Right.
Because they support the groups that are raping teenage girls.
They do. And you have turned a blind eye to that and loved them anyway, because I guess you're a hardcore flaming liberal. But again, you need to learn who your friends are. You need to understand it's never been the left. It is certainly the right who has supported and defended Israel. and defended the $3 billion a year we send to them. All the leftists want that stopped. We don't. I've never said that. Wow, I don't want to enmesh ourselves into this mess any deeper than we currently are. But that doesn't mean I don't support Israel. I know Israel can defend themselves. So
yeah, and by the way, this is dated September 27th, 2023. New State Department grantee supports resistance partners with Palestinian Islamic Jihad leaders. In other words, yes, and they're trying to spin this off like the $6 billion didn't go to fund this. I have found just in the Biden administration alone at least 3 instances where they have just signed over money to the PLO. To Hamas.
That's what they do. We've got the worst leadership we've ever had in this country. And they've made so many mistakes. And then they turn around and tell us they've done the best job of anybody who's ever held the position, when it is the exact opposite. Stunning how they can look us straight in the face and say that, hey, we've not broken any promises. We're doing a great job. The economy's great. The border's secure. Your lives are much better. What's the matter with you? Why don't you appreciate all that we've done? And look what we've done for Israel, which is nothing, of course. They've done the opposite of what Donald Trump did for Israel. All right, let me take a minute and tell you about the liver health formula. You got to start taking care of your liver now, more than ever, because according to the latest data from the American Heart Association, adults with fatty liver were 3.5 times more likely to have heart failure than those without. The American Liver Foundation says that 100 million Americans have fatty liver, and that means a lot of people are at risk. And we throw all kinds of things that are bad for your liver at that liver: cholesterol, alcohol, toxins, statins, cigarettes, all of that stuff. That's why so many of us have sluggish, fatty liver that makes us gain weight and lose energy. But there's an all-natural supplement containing 12 clinically proven botanicals that help recharge and protect your liver. It's manufactured right here in the United States, and it's approved by U.S. doctors. You can try Liver Health Formula and get a free bottle of nano-powered omega-3 to help keep your heart healthy. Try Liver Health Formula by going to getliverhelp.com/Pat. Getliverhelp.com/Pat. Claim your free bonus gift. Getliverhelp.com/Pat.
Beware, Pat Gray is unleashed.
Meanwhile, in the midst of all this, in city after city across America, there's pro-Palestinian protesters that have been clashing with pro-Israel supporters. This video was circulating on social media from New York. We're not sure exactly when this rally took place, but here's some of the pro-Palestinian sentiment currently being manifested in our country.
We're done hiding. We're done. We're done being tortured and hurt and judged. This is the correct religion. This is the religion that all of humanity needs to be upon, of Islam. And we will not stop until it enters every home. So I want you to repeat after me. I want to hear it in every single district. It should tremble. Brooklyn should hear it. The Bronx should hear it. Queens should hear it. Say it as if the Ummah depends on this, my brothers and sisters. La ilaha illallah! Muhammadan Rasulullah! There is no God worthy of worship except Allah, the God of Jesus, the God of Moses, the God of Abraham, and the God of the last and final prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
Oh boy. They're here.
All right.
That's good,
so
right?
We got that going for us.
We got that going for us, Pat.
Super passionate people out that are, trying to spread the good word.
Now, I swear, I mean, if that were a Christian rally.
Oh, my gosh.
And they were
Can
talking
you imagine? The humanity.
Be a Jesus freak.
Yep.
Oh, my gosh. Now, that's a threat. That right there, that's just... That's just good.
That's just
vibes.
good, clean, religious fun right there. That's what that is. Yeah. Because it's a religion of peace. I think we've seen that time and again.
Absolutely. It's a
religion of peace.
I love, so many people are pointing this out on social media, that how the left they always say words are violence. And then when there's actual violence.
In the words.
No.
Yes, and in their deeds.
That's just for justice for Palestine.
Right.
Okay, I swear.
Well, the implication being Israel deserves it.
Mm-hmm. That's what the implication is.
Can you imagine if we said something similar? Oh, my gosh.
Setting grandmothers on fire in their homes. That's totally acceptable in their world, because it brings justice to those that are downtrodden over in Gaza.
And as we mentioned yesterday, it's been reported some of the weapons used against Israel over the weekend were left behind by U.S. troops in Afghanistan. Is that a shocker? No. Why? Because the Taliban and Hamas are obviously cozy with each other. They share a similar goal. They're similar type people. So because Biden ordered that ridiculous, chaotic withdrawal 2 years ago, and everything was left behind. You think anybody in Israel has seen this 2007 clip of Joe Biden warning about such a thing? I wonder.
It's a big difference to tell the American people the truth about what our options are in ending this war. If tomorrow the order goes out from I'm President of the United States, I issue an order, end the war today, begin to withdraw all American troops. It will take a year to get the American troops out.
Oh.
Did you hear me now?
I did hear you.
That's the truth.
That's
it will take a year to get them physically out. Now, if you leave all the equipment behind, you might be able to do it in 7 months.
If you leave it all behind.
And you leave those billions of dollars of weapons behind, I promise they're going to be used against your grandchild and mine someday. And you leave those billions of dollars of weapons behind, I promise they're going to be used against your grandchild and mine someday.
Wow. As James Wood said on Twitter, the only true thing Joe Biden has ever said. The only promise he's ever kept.
Jeez. Wow.
And
he got right up in somebody's face to say that, because he's so bizarre. He's just so weird. But look at the difference between that guy.
Right.
16 years ago compared to today. Oh, my gosh.
By the way,
that is a different person.
Yeah, that's true. Has Hezbollah crossed in yet? I know they were amassing on the border yesterday.
Of Lebanon? Were they?
Yeah. And then in Chechnya, the head guy there, Chechen leader, anyway, he said that they are ready to deploy Chechen troops to Gaza. So this is getting even more awesome as the hours tick on.
Yeah, that's
and I know that
big problem.
Egypt closed the border to Palestine.
Yeah. See, Egypt, they don't want none of this.
They don't want none of that.
They've been down this road many times with Israel, and they learned their lesson, and that's why Sadat made peace with Menachem Begin 40 years ago. It's because they learned their lesson. You know what? We don't need to be fighting Israel every 9 years. Let's stop that. I want to stop that cycle.
I'm guessing the United Nations, that's what this body was created for, right? Is to come together and stand against evil. Well, their Twitter account on Sunday, obviously, about 24 hours after everything had started, about 36 at that point, they made sure to tweet Happy Lesbians Day from the United Nations. So just I'm
glad they didn't forget Lesbians Day.
And they also made the point that, remember, trans people are lesbians too. So that's how
trans people. See, there it gets complicated. I don't know if I agree with that statement, because there's some complexity to that one. I haven't really been able to noodle that out yet, but I'm still working on it.
I know.
So I'll let you know.
Well, the United Nations was trying to help you out.
Okay.
But no,
I'll take it into consideration, but I don't just take them at their word.
Right. By the way, there are obviously Americans and a lot of people trying to get out. My buddy Ian Patterson, who was a big part of Task Force Pineapple, that got Americans safely out of Afghanistan. I wanted to at least mention OperationRecovery.org. If you know anyone that's trying to get out of there, OperationRecovery.org. Scroll down to the Contact Us if you have someone you're trying to get saved. Gosh.
Lots more to get into coming up next.
Gray Unleashed.
Some tweets to share with you. Howard Newton says, good morning, Pat. We just recently opened a new armadillo removal service. Oh, we have great references from our sister company, Beaver Removal Services. We'd be happy to help. Is that a real thing? Or are they just being... No, it's not a... Because...
Yeah, it's totally real.
In Texas, that...
Business cards.
That could happen.
We need your business
That could happen.
I could have. I mean, I bet there is.
It does show the wildlife, though, that's in in and around our property.
So you got beavers, you got armadillos. What else you got going on
Coyotes.
there? Coyotes.
Coyotes.
Yeah.
As George W. Bush might have said.
Yeah.
Coyotes.
That's one of the worst sounds in the world when you hear coyotes out in the darkness.
Oh,
killing an animal.
Yeah. And they cry like babies. It's weird. When they start whining or howling or whatever it is they're doing, it's really eerie.
Yep.
Adrian Slade tweets, does Forbes magazine also have a Hamas news bureau like the Associated Press does? Yeah, it kind of seems that way. Two-tiered giblets. Pat, how many rounds do you need? You know I'm quoting Biden on that. Right? Me, all of them. Yes. Frank in Pennsylvania. Try a paraglider attack in the U.S. and we'll show you the value of skeet shooting. Squatching duck.
That's right. Did you see? This is what is so wild here. Is the intelligence failures are so colossal.
Yeah.
We talked about how you could go and find the videos of them training on how to blow up these fences and stuff. There's also videos of them in these motorized hang glider deals. I mean, it's like...
Hello? They weren't making really any secret about it. Squatching duck. The weapons weren't left behind by American troops. They were left behind by Joe Biden. Yeah, that's important to make that distinction. And from OIF veteran, Creepy Joe creeping since 2008. He just can't help himself. Yeah, longer than that.
Yeah, ask Tara Reid how long he's been creeping.
Yeah. Ugh. And that was in the 90s sometime when he was U.S. Senator. So, yeah, the guy is pathetic. Hideous. Cory Booker trapped in Israel, is he?
Yeah.
Senator
we have his
Cory
video.
Booker?
Yeah.
All right.
We got a video?
I am in Israel.
Oh, boy.
He is in
About
Israel.
this time yesterday, I was jogging behind me in the old city when I got a urgent call from my chief of staff telling me to get back to the hotel as quickly as I could, that Israel was under attack. There were thousands of rockets being launched. When I got back to the hotel, I joined others in the bomb shelter or the stairwells of the hotel. Frightened faces. There were children and elderly families, many Americans. There was a sense of fear and worry, and a knowledge to many of us that there were horrific things going on around the country at that time. Hundreds of people have been killed. Thousands of people have been wounded in a level of attacks at a scale that is staggering and really has not been seen in this country for over 50 years. We who believe in peace and freedom and human rights for Palestinians, for Israelis, for all humankind, must reject those who use terror as their weapon.
Okay, first thing that comes out of his mouth. We who support freedom or whatever. Palestinians. Israelis. Okay, thank you for at least throwing Israel in there with the Palestinians. These people show their true colors.
Yeah.
Every time they speak.
There is there's a picture that's been going around featuring Cory Booker. And the irony is so incredibly delicious. Can we put this up? He's standing there posing with some, pro-Palestinian folks.
And what does the sign say?
The sign reads, "From Palestine to Mexico, all the walls have got to go." Cory Booker. How you feeling today, Cory?
Yeah, you feel
good?
the same way?
You
dumbass
are such a fool.
Oh my gosh. Just buffoons.
Look at that. From Palestine to Mexico, all the walls have got to go.
Was that from this recent or is this
I don't know when
from
this
a
was.
while ago?
This is from 2018.
2018.
Okay. All right. Wow. Well, that didn't age well, did it? Jeez.
Nothing anyone on the left says ages well.
That's for sure. Outrageous. Just outrageous. All right. There are other things going on apparently in the world. And among them, leading Catholic university appears set to allow a professor to host an upcoming drag show.
All right. It's about time.
Catholic university. Thank you, finally, for opening your hearts and minds to the beautiful world of drag. Okay? Thank you. Finally.
I swear, if Chris Cruz is in there nodding yes to this, he's probably being sincere.
They allegedly want to educate students about the influence and tradition of drag in entertainment.
Because that's so important.
So important. Yeah, it's been one of our most cherished traditions forever, right? I remember when our founding fathers gathered around the old drag stage and cheered on the local drag queens. They loved it.
The local
all
drag...
56 of them, yeah.
Wow.
Got together and watched drag shows. Yeah, so this is a long-standing American tradition.
For you, they signed off on drag shows. I swear.
Pam Wosick, the chair of the Department of Film, Television, and Theater, plans on hosting a symposium on drag November 3rd as part of her one-credit course.
One credit? That's it?
That's it.
What?
And it's called What a Drag. Isn't that clever? What a Drag, drag on screen, variations and meanings.
Okay.
That's pretty in-depth. I'm glad to see we're really going to dive into it.
Just one
Get the
credit.
variations, get the meanings.
I feel like the longer the class name, such as this one, the more credits you should qualify for.
Yeah.
Just the one, huh?
Just one, apparently.
And this is at Notre Dame, right? Notre Dame.
Yes.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, I'd say they're a leading Catholic university.
I'd say that's a leading
I'd say they are the Catholic university. Notre Dame's website, class search feature, the class says that the class, quote, provides an overview of the history of drag performance on screen, unquote. Well, that's great. I've been looking for a class like this so I can really study it.
And you get a credit to boot.
Yes.
It's not. I mean,
Yes.
you were just doing it for the fun.
Right. But now, if I get, how many credits do you need to graduate from Notre Dame?
Oh, gosh.
40, 50, 100, 1,000. I'll just take one of these courses every year until I'm ready to graduate from Notre Dame.
I feel like it was like 120 something at Nebraska.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So.
Okay. So I got a ways to go.
But not as long as you thought.
Right.
Originally, he thought it was going to take you 1,000 semesters.
Yeah, but no. We'll consider televisual drag, comedic and dramatic fiction films, documentaries, and silent films. We will consider uses of drag as disguise, cross-dressing for comedy, ballroom culture, drag contests,
Who gives a crap?
female to male drag. Is there that? And more.
Yeah, there's that.
Female to male? I don't know that I've seen female to male drag.
Call it. Maybe I don't think of it as drag. I just think of the way some women have dressed over the
Okay,
years.
yes. I mean, obviously.
But yeah, okay.
It's called Drag King.
Drag King. I knew
Is that
he'd have some
real?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
information for us on this.
So there's drag queens
And then drag
and
kings.
drag kings.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I like that. In a conversation with Campus Reform, Wosick cast doubt on the Catholic Church's opposition to drag shows. So do you have any evidence that the church has opinions about drag one way or the other? Because I don't.
Oh, when did you
She
stop
said.
beating your wife? Shut up.
Drag has a very long history in entertainment. Drag has been central to
Yeah.
all these entertainment forms.
We
and
know.
part of the reason we're doing this class in film, TV, and theater is because there's a lot of misperception about what drag is.
Okay, then correct the record.
That's what they're doing
So good.
at Notre Dame.
So good.
Wosick rejected the idea that drag performances had anything to do with Catholic teaching on sexuality or chastity and downplayed the idea that showcasing such spectacles would be harmful. I don't see any reason that drag would be perceived as being anti-Catholic in any way. It does have a long tradition. Yeah, a lot of sin has a long tradition. Doesn't mean it's not. The professor indicated that the purpose of the course is to undo some of the misperceptions that drag somehow harms people. Now, if you're an adult, a consenting adult, I don't care how many drag shows you attend. Go ahead, knock yourself out. It's harmful to children to sexualize it in this way and get them involved in it. She said, though, there's no evidence of drag ever hurting anyone. And I don't think it's counter to the teachings of the church. Okay. I don't think it's counter to the teachings of Notre Dame. Well, that may be true now. I mean, Notre Dame into a lot of stuff that they didn't used to be. So maybe that part is true. I don't know. Let me have you picture for a minute what things would be like if and when the global supply chain of antibiotics disappeared right before our eyes. You know, most of our medicine, I'm sure you know this, you're fully aware, manufactured in India and China. Almost all of it, in fact. And we actually have plants in this country, and we don't use them for ourselves. I don't know if they export it or what they do, but there's a place in Kentucky or Tennessee that makes really important drugs, and we don't use them. We get all the stuff from China. It doesn't make any sense. That supply could dry up very quickly. I mean, we're at the mercy of the Chinese. Is that what you want? You don't have to be, because there's the Jace case from Jace Medical, which is a great way to prepare for anything, any eventuality. It's a pack of 5 different courses of antibiotics that you can use to treat all kinds of bacterial illnesses. Great for traveling, too. So maybe there is no supply chain crisis, but you're out traveling and you don't have access to your normal supply. Whether it's... Did you?
Yeah, they found an infection in my mouth.
Oh, that's gross.
I didn't want to go to the pharmacy and spend $80.
Okay.
I used my Jace case because it was already... It was one of the medications.
Brilliant. All right. Well, good. You know, what kind of infection? What do you have?
Somewhere in my gums.
Hoof and mouth disease or something?
I got a stupid operation after the show.
So. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, if you have an infection in your mouth or anywhere in your body, go to jacemedical.com. Enter the promo code PAT at checkout. That's promo code PAT to save big at jacemedical.com.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
As we were just talking about with Notre Dame, the state of education in our country right now is pathetic. I mean, it's appalling. Here's a teacher explaining why kids in our country are failing to learn the simplest things.
No, y'all, can we talk about it? Can we please talk about it? Let's take a moment to discuss. Let's take a moment to debrief. Let's take a moment to unpack. So I'm not really understanding why they're not telling y'all. Like, we all know that the world is behind, like, you know, globally, like, you know, because of the pandemic and stuff. But I don't understand why they're not stressing to y'all how bad it is. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny, but these kids are... I'm going to just say this. I teach 7th grade. They are still performing on the 4th grade level.
Oh.
I don't care how you flip it, turn it, swing it, swindle it. They still performing on the 4th grade level. Ain't nobody talking about how they just keep moving, passing them on. They just keep passing them on. I can put as many zeros in this grade book as I want to. They're going to move that child to the 8th grade next year.
Wow.
Ain't nobody talking about that. Why they not talking about that? Why they not telling y'all that y'all... And why don't y'all know that y'all kids not performing on their grade level? Why y'all don't know this? Why y'all don't know?
He doesn't teach English, does he?
Because y'all be quick to talk about, the teacher this, the teacher this, it's your job, baby. I just got here 30 days ago. She was performing on the 4th grade level since 4th grade. Why we not talking? Well, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
You the teacher. You supposed to be, again, she's been on the 4th grade level since the 4th grade. We in 7th grade now. So you let this child go 3 years and you never knew that your child was still in the 4th grade, ain't never left the... Hang it up, flat screen. In 4th grade, it'd be nice. I still have kids performing on grade K, 1, 2, and 3rd grade levels. I could probably count on one hand how many kids are actually performing on their grade level. So just imagine, you don't know that your child been on the 2nd grade level since the 2nd grade, and they now in the 7th or 8th grade? Are you joking right now? And these are future leaders, our future doctors, our future nurses, our future... What? Please.
Too many words in too short a time. I'm trying to keep up with him.
That's great.
Yeah, I mean, he cares.
I mean, but when his administration sees that, they're not going to be pleased. I mean, that's a brave video to release.
Yeah, that's true.
I hope he doesn't pay the price for that. Here's another teacher. In fact, she's the director of education at High Tops, which is an LGBTQ plus nonprofit focused on bringing queer theory and gender ideology into schools. Do you love that?
You gotta
How much
have
do you
it.
love?
You
You
gotta
gotta
have it.
have it.
You gotta have that.
You gotta have it. She has a plan for young kids.
Mm-hmm.
The most critical time to be there is grades 5 through 8 because you want to catch kids when they're starting puberty because that's the time in which identity formation is central to their lives.
Listen to the evil.
However, early intervention is key. So we actually are designing a kindergarten through grade 2 curriculum this summer. And I will tell you, one of the most rewarding experiences, Nikki, we were in a local school system in an elementary school. And we were in grades 3, 4, and 5.
Okay.
And after we were there, 5 students went to the principal's office and came out.
Oh, good.
So we
Yay!
are really intentionally going into
Pause it for a
younger and
second.
younger.
They are actually recruiting for this movement. They are recruiting these kids. And it's working because they're making it sound so hip and so cool. And you're just going to be part of the crowd now. And everybody's talking about it right now. Who doesn't want a piece of this?
This is the trans cult.
Be great.
I mean, listen to her. It almost sounded like you'll hear evangelicals say, and we had 5 kids come to Christ at that event. She's like, we had 5 kids go to the principal's office and come out.
Right.
It's a religion to these people.
It sure is. Sure is. Let her finish up.
That was it. That was all you get.
Oh, really? Did I go the whole time before we commented?
Yeah, but I mean, they're not coming for your children, though.
Oh, no. Where would you get that? Oh, wait. He's saying they are coming for them.
Well, he's just kidding around. He's just joking. He's just joshing you. Come on now.
That's right.
See? It's a joke.
We're coming for your children.
It's not real, Pat. It's a joke.
Right.
Ha ha ha. Laugh
They
with
are
us.
joking. It's the opposite of Biden, what he always says. And that's no joke. What they're saying is, that is a joke. We're just joking.
Actually, it turns out there was a pedophile in that video. Chris reminds me. I do remember seeing that.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm. I forgot which one it is, but you're right. Yeah. Yep. But
Did they know it at the time, I wonder? Or, probably didn't care. Yeah, probably didn't care. That's fine.
But they're not coming
But they're
for
not
your
coming
children,
for your
even though
children.
they're saying and singing that they are coming for your children. Remember, you got to get them at that 3rd, 4th, 5th grade level.
Yeah, it has to start early if you want to convert them.
I mean, there is evil everywhere. Sometimes it's obvious. Sometimes
not so much.
Well, I don't know. Maybe that was pretty obvious, wasn't it?
More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here.
I am.
On the Blaze Radio Network.
It's true. And thank you for being here with us. 888-900-3393. You know, right before the break, we played that song from the LGBTQIA2 plus group. I don't even know who those... Do we know where they came from? I don't remember.
San Francisco Gay Men's Choir.
Oh, thank you. The San Francisco Gay Men's Choir. We're coming for your children. And they sing it over and over and over. And it's just for fun. It's just fun. Okay, they're kidding a little bit. You know, it's sort of a parody. Really? Would that be acceptable for straight people? How about the Straight Men's Choir of Dallas-Fort Worth? And we start singing about how we're going to convert your children back to hetero. Would that be acceptable to anybody? I'll bet you'd lose your job for that. You would be drummed out and canceled for that. But for them, it's just good, clean fun. Really, that's all we were doing and saying we're going to convert your children back to hetero. How would that be? And you, for that matter. I'm just tired of the double standard. I am tired of the onslaught. The siege that exists against our children. Stop it. Stop. It's not funny. For one thing, it's just not funny. And that's what we would be told. Let me take just a minute and tell you about Patriot Mobile, because for 10 years, Patriot Mobile's been America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. Glenn and the team have been great supporters of this show, which is one of the many reasons I'm proud to partner with them. Patriot Mobile offers dependable nationwide coverage. They give you the ability to access all 3 major networks, which means you get the exact same coverage that you're accustomed to without funding the left. And isn't that what you want to do? You don't want to have to compromise on quality. And you don't. It's going to be the same when you switch to Patriot Mobile. But you'll also be sending the message that you support free speech and religious freedom and the sanctity of life, the Second Amendment, our military veterans. They also have 100% U.S.-based customer service. And they make switching really easy. You can keep your phone, you can keep your number, or you can change both. Whatever you want to do, they can accommodate you. Just go to patriotmobile.com/Pat. Again, they'll make it really easy. Or you could call 972-PATRIOT. You'll get free activation when you use the offer code PAT. Join me and make the switch today. patriotmobile.com/Pat or 972-PATRIOT.
Pat Gray is unleashed.
Yeah. And by the way, that voice, Jeffy, will be here tomorrow. Kind of to finish off the week for me. At least it's the end of my week, work week. And yours, Keith? Are you done after tomorrow?
No, I'll be here Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Me and Jeffy will hang out Thursday.
All right, have fun.
Yeah.
So I'm going to Utah. We've got a conference that we're attending and looking forward to, and so we're just going to be gone Thursday and Friday, and then we'll be back by Monday. But looking forward to that. Got some tweets here. High Plains stranger. Asteroids could be hurtling towards Earth, and in our final hours, the UN will wish us all a happy Lesbians Day.
Oh, thank you, United Nations, for priorities.
I could see that happening, frankly. Pick a pool, the hypotheoretical jackhole Pokemon.
There's a lot going on there.
A trans lesbian is a guy who's pretending to be a girl who still likes girls.
Okay.
Okay? Mm-hmm.
All right.
Paco D, why isn't POTUS being impeached?
Bro, I don't know.
That's kind of a non sequitur out of the blue.
Some questions
what do you mean?
Just aren't answerable.
Well, first we got to get a Speaker of the House, right?
Oh.
And then they need to pursue that with vigor. Kim Miola. By the way, we didn't get one yesterday. Might happen today.
So
it could happen.
Well, no, the timeline is staying as they met last night behind closed doors.
Mm-hmm.
Today, I forgot what it was, but yeah, they're not voting until Wednesday.
Okay.
Morning at the earliest.
All righty. Kim Miola, we have armadillos in Florida and coyotes. Yip. Okay.
Yip.
Mm-hmm. Jack's had enough. An armadillo is just a possum in a half shell. Possum in a half shell.
Yeah, I like that.
Uh-huh.
Armadillo power. Dillo power. I don't. Well,
Dillo power. Yeah, you could probably get away with that.
Better enunciate that one.
You don't want to put any extra consonants in that one.
Like
right.
I said, speak clearly when you're singing that song.
No, I hear you. William Thwarted. William of Thwarted. If you were trying to destroy the world, what more could you do?
All right. Don't give them. Don't ask that open-ended question of this administration.
They'll think of another way.
No
to bring it about faster. Ashton DeGroot tweets, I have 5 Texans stuck in Jerusalem. I've filled out the crisis paperwork with the embassy and called, only to be told that there's no plan on how we're bringing our people home.
Why would there be?
That's from our Ashton.
That's our Ashton here at the Blaze.
Wow. Dang it, Ashton.
So don't forget my friends group, OperationRecovery.org. They were the group that helped get people out of Afghanistan. So now they're working in Israel. I went to their website. Yeah, and OperationRecovery.org. I don't see there. I was just texting with my buddy. There's going to be a more streamlined way to get in touch with them. Right now, there's a phone number at the bottom of that page, operationrecovery.org. But hopefully, he's saying there will be a form or something. You can type all your information. So
yeah, because you're not going to get any satisfaction from this administration.
Oh, no.
None. So there's got to be an alternative way for you to try to bring home your loved ones. All right. Now meet a British guy named Pat Condell. Here's what he had to say to members of the trans cult movement.
Okay, this guy's fun.
Hello, everyone. We're told that we have to be nice to the rainbow alphabet people because they're marginalized. If only they were, our kids would be safer. How marginalized are they? Well, they're so marginalized, they fly a flag of allegiance for a month every year that every institution and large corporation obediently adopts and rubs in our faces. That's how marginalized they are. A flag under which alphabet activists masquerading as teachers expose children to poisonous gender ideology, queer theory, and sexual pornography in the name of education. Mentally ill men dressed as caricatures of women sexually groom children right in front of our eyes. And every paedophile in the Western world now feels as if they've won the lottery. That's how marginalized they are, and they're so far up their own fundament, they can't even see how damaging this behavior is. They are killing public support for their cause.
Jeez.
This is such a serious blunder. These people had already been accepted as an eccentric fringe element of society, which is the best they could reasonably hope for, since they are a small eccentric minority, exasperating us with their idiot pronouns and fantasy gender nonsense. You see, when gay people won their battle for equality, many of them simply wanted to be left alone to get on with their lives in peace. So the movement was taken over by ideologues, exhibitionists, and assorted perverts and freaks who adopted the fantasy concept of gender and then played the victim when people resisted having it rammed down their throat. And for this, they were not only indulged, but positively celebrated to a quite ridiculous degree, which unfortunately created an inflated sense of entitlement that just got the better of them, and they gave the game away by coming for the children. Now, people are paying attention, and everything has changed.
Coming up on Overtime, we'll play a little bit more from him, because he had more to say, plenty more to say about the trans cult movement. I think you're going to enjoy it. We'll do that on Overtime because it's lengthy.
That was good.
But that was great stuff.
Sure was. And by the way, I endorse pronouncing pedophile as pedophile going forward. And the way they do over in Britain.
Yeah.
Because it feels harsher, you know, to call him a pedophile. I don't know why. Just pedophile.
Because it has the word peed in it. That's
well,
probably
that's not where I was. No, I'm saying it just sounds whatever.
Worse?
Yeah, it does. Pedophile.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just some words. I'm done here. Hey, the trans folks, they're having in Berlin like a World Aquatic like championship, like a swimmers World Cup. And so they said, hey, here's what we're gonna do. Since you trans people, you like to swim too. They did what we've told them to do from the beginning, which is just
create their own category.
Create your own category.
Oh, they did?
They did. So we're starting to see that happen because they said you're not going to have dudes competing with women. Right. We have a category for you over here. And so this looks like a light at the end of the societal tunnel. Oh, but no, it's not actually, because all of the dudes that wanted to compete against the women that had their own trans category, nobody signed up. They said, no, we want to compete against the women. So no trans swimmers are now in the events. So good, go away then. We try to accommodate you in the most reasonable way
So rather
possible.
than swim against each other.
Correct.
They chose not to swim at all.
You got it.
Huh. I wonder why, because there's no difference. Right? There's no difference. Huh. And again, I can't help but notice there are no women trying to compete against men in their sport categories. Like, do you have any female basketball players that identify as men that are trying to get into the NBA? No, you don't. Or how about cycling? Do a lot of biological women who identify as men compete against men in, say, the Tour de France? I don't think so. It doesn't happen. Why is that? Because we're not the same. So let's stop playing this stupid game. But that's interesting. That they, rather than compete against each other, no, I'm not going to. I'm going to take my toys and go home. Oh, okay. Well, whatever. We tried.
Yep.
Yesterday, we played a montage of Democrats talking about illegal immigration. We only played a piece of a longer speech given by today's Senate Majority Leader Chuck E. Schumer. Here's what he was saying about illegal immigration in 2009.
Wow, not that long ago.
We must create a system that converts the current flow of primarily low-skilled illegal immigrants into the United States into a more manageable and controlled flow of legal immigrants who can be absorbed by our economy. Let me elaborate.
Okay.
The first of these 7 principles is that illegal immigration is wrong, plain and simple.
Whoa.
Until the American people are convinced that we will stop future flows of illegal immigration, we will make no progress on dealing with the millions of illegal immigrants who are here now and on rationalizing our system of legal immigration. It's plain and simple and unavoidable. When we use phrases like undocumented workers, we convey a message to the American people that their government is not serious about combating illegal immigration.
What?
Which the American people overwhelmingly oppose. If you don't think it's illegal, you're not going to say it. I think it is illegal and wrong. And we have to change it.
What?
Who is this guy?
Above all else, the American people want their government to be serious about protecting the public, enforcing the rule of law, and creating a rational system of legal immigration that will proactively fit our needs rather than reactively responding to future waves of illegal immigration. People who enter the United States without our permission are illegal aliens, and illegal aliens should not be treated the same as people who entered the U.S. legally. To the advocates for strong, fair, effective, comprehensive immigration reform, and I'm certainly one, I say to you that the American people will never accept immigration reform unless they truly believe that their government is committed to ending future illegal immigration. And any successful, comprehensive immigration reform bill must recognize this fact.
Who is that? Who? I didn't catch.
Chuck Schumer?
I didn't.
Something?
Yeah, I missed the introduction there.
That is crazy.
Who's that guy?
Again, what was that from? But 1986, 1971. You know, there's been a long time between that statement and now.
Yeah, it was during the Obama administration.
Yeah, in 2009. That's incredible. Wow.
And that
do they think we don't have access to that stuff anymore?
That was just 2 minutes of a longer. Remember, he said, I got 7 points to make. I mean, this is a speech where he uses the term illegal aliens. I mean,
wow.
Again,
no human is illegal, I'd like to point out.
Where did the timeline separate itself?
I don't know. So weird.
Something's, you know,
where and why?
I think there's a truth to that whole Mayan calendar 2012 thing. Something happened in December of 2012. I think we jumped timelines.
It's possible. We're in an alternate universe
now. Yeah. I'd like to see how things are going on that other universe. Because, you know, we had hope there.
All right. Let me take a minute and tell you about AMAC, because there's an organization that exists, and they're fairly prevalent. They still back Obamacare, gun control, extreme transgender policies that endanger our kids. And while they claim to be bipartisan or nonpartisan, the truth is, last year, 95% of their donations went to Democrats. That does not represent America's senior citizens. The organization, of course, is AARP. Fortunately, though, there's a conservative alternative. It's AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, proudly championing Americans' rights to free speech, religious liberties, Second Amendment. AMAC is the leading conservative advocacy and benefits organization. They defend parents' rights to protect their kids. And they're fighting to restore America's election integrity as well. AMAC has more than 2 million members nationwide. They're pro-faith, they're pro-family, pro-freedom. And they can't do this alone. So joining gives you access to special low rates on cell phones and plans, health and wellness products, travel and lodging, vision, dental, and prescription drugs. So please join today. Send AARP a really strong message that they don't represent conservative seniors, because frankly, they just don't. Join AMAC today at amac.us/Pat. That's AMAC, amac.us/Pat.
Pat Gray Unleashed. Missed an episode? Catch up anytime, anywhere podcasts are found. Pat Gray will be right back.
Great to have you with us. Let me tell you about our big Halloween box at Keksi. Keksi.com, by the way, KEKSI.com. We got this cool box that we designed for Halloween. Open if you dare. When you do, there's the love at first bite and the spider coming down. But really incredible cookies. This has been really difficult for me lately. I thought I got over this, the burning desire to eat these, and I didn't. I didn't get over it. They're too delicious.
Honest.
Yeah, I did not get over it. I want to eat this whole stinking box, but this special Halloween box comes with not 12, but 13 cookies.
Oh, snap!
Get it? See, because
That's
Halloween, unlucky number and stuff. So
at least you didn't, give them a free black cat with each box of cookies.
No, there's no black cat.
I've been overkill.
But we got these classic monster trading cards, too. There's Frankenstein right there. They're kind of like baseball cards. They come with all the stats of the monster.
Like how many people they've eaten?
Yeah, and how old they are. And
oh, wow.
How they died, what kind of monster. Interesting facts.
I love that stuff.
But the delicious cookies inside include the 2 blood velvet ones. It's a red velvet cookie with a vanilla frosting. I couldn't stop eating it yesterday. Splashes of deliciousness that seems like blood. It's actually not.
It's not?
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah, it's not actual
Write that down.
Blood. I thought I'd let you know. It looks just like blood, but it isn't. You probably don't want to eat somebody else's blood. That's what we determined when we were making the cookie.
Yet. We'll get there as a society.
So instead, it's something
that's good
yummy
stuff.
on
That's
there.
good stuff.
I don't know what it is. You'd have to ask my wife. She's not here right
But
now.
not blood.
But it is not blood, I
All
guarantee. I can guarantee you that. We got the 2 Mummy Nutella cookies somewhere in there. It's a chocolate cookie with Nutella in the center. For some reason, love Nutella.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 Worms and Grubs, which is a chocolate cookie with wriggling vanilla chips.
Oh, God.
Creamy chocolate frosting. I just love it. 2 Sugar Monster cookies that look kind of like Cookie Monster. It's blue, and I think there's a face in there somewhere. Texas sheet cake comes with this, too. 1 sugar lemon cookie and a chocolate chip. 13, again, in total. And then you get the 6 or 7 of these Halloween cards. Really fun. And this is going to sell out. I mentioned this yesterday. It will sell out today. So if you want one, go to Keksi.com and get yours quickly. But you can buy the other cookies as well. So here's another bunch for people to eat today.
Holy.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Really good.
So I've noticed that Halloween falls on a Tuesday this year.
Yeah?
You dressing up? You coming in all dressed up for Halloween?
As always.
I mean...
Are you? Are you coming in dressed up?
Don't make this about me.
Okay.
Your name's
right.
on the wall, bro.
You did ask the question first.
Now, are you bringing in our skeleton friend, though? That's always fun.
Oh, I should.
Yeah, I always like dressing him up and putting him in that chair there.
Yeah, I should do that. We should have them all, like the whole Halloween season, too, right?
Bring him.
We should. You ever wonder, hey, what's up with ESPN, the Entertainment and Sports Network? They've debuted another, a whole show to beat us over the head with their wokeism and their liberal propaganda. This one is headed by Ibram X. Kendi.
Okay.
Your favorite Boston University professor who's out of his skull, who is the biggest racist I know of. But he's doing a new show on ESPN. I think it's ESPN Plus. Black athletes being compensated millions of dollars for playing professional sports, according to him and the people he's had on the show. Well, that's a modern day version of slavery.
Wait, whoa,
in America.
Boy, that thing took a turn.
It takes a turn, I think that you remember the former Olympian who turned her back on the flag during the national anthem.
Yeah,
she's a part of it, which is great. And here's what she had to say about sports contracts.
It's almost like the contracts.
It's almost like
are the new slave chains, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you have to sign this contract and sign this document and sign this document. It's like you're binded to this.
Yeah.
And then if you break that, that's your livelihood, that's your life.
Right.
So we the new slaves. Athletes are literally the new slaves.
So they the new
need
slaves.
This. Our families, our friends depend on this contract to eat.
No, because you don't have to sign the $1 million contract, the multi-million dollar contract. Remember the slaves, how they got paid 7, 8, 10, 20 million a year to be slaves? If you're being paid for your work, you're not a slave. Okay. And if you don't want to sign the contract, because you made a big deal out of you have to sign, they have to sign. Yeah, I signed a contract. Am I a slave?
Shame on her. Shame on her. And if she does have slaves in her family history, and
she just belittled it.
Right,
the whole thing.
They are looking at her with absolute disgust.
Oh yeah.
Are you kidding me?
That is so despicable.
Millions of dollars. Oh, and she used the word. That's literally slavery.
No.
What the hell? Do you know what the literal means? What slavery means?
They're playing a game too, right? You know that? They're using their athleticism to play a game. They're not breaking rocks. They're not digging ditches.
There is so little self-awareness in our world anymore.
So crazy.
I wonder, is everyone... We're just all on drugs. Some people just have a different level of drugs in their system.
But I know everybody wants to watch this new show now. It's called Skin in the Game.
Here, I'm going to write it down. Watch
by
this.
Ibram X. Kendi. Don't miss it.
I'm writing it down. Here
so profound.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Again, for those who may have missed it, the new ESPN Plus series is called Skin in the Game, hosted by Ibram X. Kendi.
Cannot wait for this.
Right? Because what he's going to do every episode is discuss the challenges of racism in the sports world.
Mm-hmm.
And it will reveal how pervasive racism in sports really is.
Mm-hmm. He's going to sit down with, quote, literal slaves, end quote.
Yeah. Play that again, because it was so profound. I want everybody to understand what sports contracts really are, and she's about to explain it.
It's almost like the contracts, are the new slave chains, right?
Right.
So, you have to sign this contract and sign this document and sign this document. It's like you're binded to this. And then if you break that, that's your livelihood, that's your life. So we the new slaves. Athletes are literally the new slaves because we need this. Our families, our friends depend on this contract to eat.
You don't have to sign it. No, nobody's putting a gun to your head to sign the contract. You could go and work at 7-Eleven and you probably won't have to sign a contract, actually. Now, 7-Eleven may not pay you the slave wages that the NFL, for instance, will.
Yeah.
You'll probably make non-slave wages like, I don't know, $15 an hour or something, as opposed to $35 million a year. So...
Yeah, but now is the
clearly
7-Eleven...
you want the freedom of the 7-Eleven clerk gig. Am I right? Where you don't sign anything.
You know what's crazy is that athletes, they're on things called teams.
Mm-hmm.
And then what they do is they actually have it's almost like it's a schedule that comes out
where they're
year.
breaking the rocks and digging the ditches. Is that what it does? It shows you all the places you're going to be doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sure does.
All right.
And it shows me. And then let me tell you how sick and twisted I am. Right.
Uh-huh.
Like I make an appointment to.
Do you watch them break the rocks? Oh my. You are despicable.
This is white man's guilt coming out right now, live on the air. I can't even.
Yeah. Well, at least it's coming out.
We got
that going.
Oh my gosh, you freaking got me. So they have a schedule, and you like these athletes have to show up and perform. I'm being swayed.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But I was sitting here thinking, Doesn't the 7-Eleven have a schedule, like when you should come in and work?
I think there is a work schedule.
Now, I
at
don't.
most
I'm not
7-Elevens.
privy to that.
Yeah.
Okay. Like
yeah.
it's very voyeuristic of me to sit here and watch these guys out there working. Right? It's kind of weird.
Yeah. Well, they're not slaves at 7-Eleven, so you don't.
So
you
I
don't want to watch them.
I don't get a schedule of like your 7-Eleven shift, which would I don't know, a 7-Eleven cam that might be fun.
It might actually.
Oh my gosh! Hold on, 7-Eleven. Hold on. Put some high definition cameras in there. It works as a crime deterrent, and you advertise. Look what's happening at the 7-Eleven in Irving, Texas.
Right.
And then you could go and go, oh, dude, I don't like
great.
that guy sucks. I'm not going over there today for my lottery ticket. I'll get it closer to home.
Uh-huh.
And then you could maybe zoom in because they used to. I don't know. I haven't seen it in a while, but you can manipulate cameras through the web at some of these live cams, like construction sites, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I want one over here and zoom in on the fruit because sometimes it's not the ripest sitting on the counter, and I don't want to waste my trip over there without knowing ahead of time if the overpriced food is ripe or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's perhaps a little deeper than I was planning to get into the whole 7-Eleven analogy, but okay.
I just gave 7-Eleven Corp, based here in Irving,
a terrific idea.
Absolutely incredible idea
for a riveting show on the web. On the interwebs.
I'm sending this segment to 7-Eleven corporate.
Okay, please do. Please do. It never ceases to amaze the lengths to which ESPN will go in order to hammer home their propaganda and their agenda.
Yeah.
And then Disney wonders why they're not doing very well anymore. Disney owns ESPN, by the way, if you weren't aware. But they're starting to sell off properties because it is having an effect. People are done with Disney now. We're about to cancel Disney Plus. Right after Loki, bam, I'm going to cancel. So, I don't understand. Why can't you be the entertainment and sports network again? Man, they are hell-bent to drive this home. How bad white people are. How bad America is. I mean, this woman who was talking about sport contracts worth millions and tens of millions of dollars in most cases. She was drummed out, really, because of her disrespect to the American flag. And they put her on this show so that they can give her another forum. I mean, nobody wanted to hear her before. Activist athlete. Do you remember that? She pulled up her shirt and it said activist athlete on the T-shirt underneath it when she was at the Olympics. Pathetic. So just to make sure that you're hammered with all of this propaganda, ESPN has a brand new show for you. Just want to remind you of that. That's great. Leading anti-racist Boston University professor Ibram X. Kendi, I'm sorry, will be the host of this show. Who sat around and said, you know who we need to get on ESPN? Ibram X. Kendi. How about that? Huh? Yeah. And we can talk about how, contracts are modern day slavery. So that'll be good. People will love that. Yeah, don't talk about how the sports world, like the NFL, is about 75 or 80% black. Don't talk about that. Because you would think, all right, you're going to talk about racism in sports? Are you going to talk about how there's a disproportionate number of blacks playing the sports? Because 14% of the population, they shouldn't be 80% of the people involved in these sports contracts.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah, NBA, same thing. Actually, it might be 75% in the NFL, 75%, and about 80% in the NBA. I mean, so are we going to do something about that? Will somebody be talking about that on ESPN?
Right.
I doubt it.
And there's always this this screaming from outlets like ESPN that, hey, there aren't enough black coaches.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then to your point, Pat, there aren't enough white players.
Yes.
But
right.
But, the thing is we want to watch the best athletes.
Yes.
And
yes.
So back off.
So you don't see white people saying, hey, why aren't there white guys out there on the basketball court? We all know why.
Why?
Because it's based on merit. Yeah, it's based on your talent.
Okay.
So these other athletes are more talented, so they get the jobs. And they sign the slave contracts.
I hear white men can't jump. I've heard that.
Yeah. There's a movie about it. All right, what are the stats? You have the exact stats, NFL and NBA?
So for the NBA, 70.4 are African American.
Lower than I thought. Okay.
And whites, 17.5.
Oh, 17.5%.
So are 9% Asian?
It breaks down to like all the different like Hispanic and all that stuff.
So
and then
70% in the NBA.
And then on the NFL,
yes,
as of 2022, 56%.
Are black?
Mm-hmm.
It's only 56%?
According to statistics,
Hard to believe.
Statistica.com NFL players.
Okay.
Well, let me think about kickers, punters, offensive line.
Oh, yeah, right.
Quarterbacks.
That's right. A few quarterbacks, but those are probably, I'll bet.
But the exciting positions are black athletes.
Yes.
That's why we're turning it on. I mean,
yes.
As dreadful as the Atlanta Falcons are, Bijan Robinson, our running back, a black man, is the most exciting Atlanta Falcon to watch since Deion Sanders. You know, we're tuning in to see exciting plays and exciting players. We're not saying, but is he black?
What a concept.
But is he white?
Yeah. Nobody cares about that.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. There was a time, in the 40s and 50s where people did care, and they shouldn't have, but they did. But we overcame that. And so don't act like we've had no progress in this society, because we have. All right. Let me tell you about a recent study of hundreds of post-abortive women. 60% of them reported that they would have preferred to give birth if they had received more support from others, or if they were more financially secure. That's really something. 60%. And even if they didn't keep the baby, even if they gave the baby up for adoption, I mean, somebody is taking care of and loving that baby. So this is where preborn comes in. They're there for women in their really tough decisions, deciding between life and death of their precious child. The reality is women are being pressured to make the fatal decision, and they're being told their babies are just clumps of cells. Well, the ultrasound shows them differently. That's why preborn provides ultrasounds for expecting mothers. And they show them that that's a baby. That's human life growing inside of you. And it doubles the chances that the woman says, okay, yeah, I'm going to carry this baby to term. So if you can help, please do. Dial pound 250, pound 250, say the keyword baby. That's pound 250, keyword baby, to donate $28 or whatever you can do. Preborn.com/Pat is where you can do that, or preborn.com/Pat.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Okay, so Naviator, Pathead Naviator just tweeted out, did you notice that one of the guys was wearing a 1619 shirt? I did notice, and good catch. Watch this. Play this again. It's so perfect.
I didn't notice
It's almost like the contracts, are the new slave chains, right?
True.
So, you have to sign this contract and sign this document and sign this document. It's like,
no.
Wait.
Okay.
You're binded to this.
Activist
And
athlete
then
is
if you
what
break
hers says.
that's your livelihood, that's your life.
We're going to
So
the other
we the new
guy.
slaves. Athletes are literally the new slaves. Because
Literally
we need this.
the new slaves.
Our families, our friends
Wait for
depend
it.
on this contract to eat.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah.
That was profound. Activist athlete woman.
Wee! Was that powerful, hun? That was powerful. I mean, look at my shirt here that says the 1619 Project, which is bull crap, but I'm still promoting it, even though it's been proven to be false history and not real. And even the author of it admits it's not real. Don't let that bother you.
Yeah.
We're still going to give them Pulitzer Prizes and whatnot.
So subliminal.
Yeah.
1619 Project. By the way, my T-shirt marks the anniversary of October 10th, 732 when Charles Martel beat back the Muslim invaders in Europe, saving Western civilization that you enjoy today. So that's my subtle messaging today. Charles the Hammer
that's
Martel.
Really subliminal.
I wear this every October 10th. Thank you very much.
You do, really?
I do. Look, Pat, I made this for myself. Look at this shirt. See that?
Thank you, Charles Martel, 1010-732 AD. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The day Western civilization was saved.
Thank you,
from the
Chuck.
bloodthirsty invaders.
Stand up, Chuck.
From the South.
Take about. Oh, wait. I'm sorry.
It's almost like history is repeating
Bless
itself
your heart,
right now.
You're dead. Yeah, well, it is. Yeah, it is.
Anyhow, that's appointment watching for sure.
Yeah,
what was
for
the
ESPN show.
Let me write this down. What's the name of the show again?
Let me look.
Okay.
It is, and I don't want you to forget this ever again.
Okay, because I'm writing this down.
Okay, Skin in the Game.
Skin in the Game.
All right. Notice a double entendre there because.
Come on. Yeah, but just made a note.
All righty.
To not watch it.
What? Wait, what?
Oh, this is my mic.
They're going to be They're talking about the challenges of racism in the sports world, and they're going to reveal just how pervasive racism is in sports.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
So put that in your pipe and smoke it.
To not watch that.
I'm sorry, what?
I said I cannot wait to watch that.
Oh, okay. A Florida man allegedly planned mass shootings and stabbing sprees at Okeechobee High School, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, and a church in Florida, but was foiled, fortunately, after a routine traffic stop. Wow, this could have been just horrific.
No kidding.
He was going to attack Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School again? Oh, man. Palm Beach County authorities charged Henry Horton IV, 19 years old, with making written threats to kill after a Jupiter police officer conducting a traffic stop on the evening of September 18th allegedly found handwritten notes from the suspect detailing his sick, twisted plans. After initially pulling him over just for a broken headlight.
Wow.
Thank heaven for that.
Wow.
The officer asked for his consent to search his vehicle. Oh, and he gave it to him.
Wow. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. I'm so glad this got stopped.
Yeah.
But what are you doing, kid?
What are you doing? Yeah. Because the cop discovered multiple handwritten pages stating a plan to purchase firearms and, quote, kill everyone at OHS with my guns, unquote. That was later discovered, obviously, to stand for Okeechobee High School. The officer then spoke with Horton, who told him that he was planning on killing an administrator at Okeechobee High School, where he graduated last year, according to the affidavit. My gosh. Horton was planning on executing the plan on his 22nd birthday, which would be in 2026. Patient killer, apparently.
Right, January 2nd, right?
Yeah, January 2nd, 2026 was when he was going to do this.
I mean, that's pretty
at
close.
At approximately 11:30. So he even had the number in mind.
Okay.
And once he had killed the administrator, Horton wanted to murder another 14 people, accounting to a total of 15 victims. What? This is really weird.
Very weird.
After this plan was executed, he wanted to drive down to Miami to a church named El Rey Jesus and go on a stabbing spree and murder another 10 people.
And this was scheduled for January 2nd, 2026. Which, just looking at the January 2026 calendar, that falls on a Friday. I bet school isn't even going to be open that day. I mean, what a poor planner. It's a Friday.
The officer also located a bong. That would be really surprising that he's on drugs, wouldn't it?
Whoa.
That would shock me to find that out. But apparently, I mean, I don't know what he put in the bong. Maybe it was tobacco. I don't know.
Of course.
I don't know.
Can't think of anything else it could be.
He also had 3 fillet-style knives in the vehicle during the traffic stop, but yet agreed to the police search.
All right, this is a little too perfect.
Yeah, that's really
so I'm just going to drive around for the next 2.5 years with all this information.
Yeah.
And then when the cop asks to search my vehicle.
Sure, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, sure. Whatever you need, officer. All right. Okay.
Something's weird there.
Has this kid been involved with MK Ultra experiments?
It doesn't really say, so I don't know. It's possible, though.
And I ask that with a straight face, by the way.
Also, mystery surrounds a visit to D.C. of Iran-backed Iraqi judge who issued a warrant for Trump's arrest. Okay, this is interesting, too. The DOJ was slated to roll out the welcome mat in October for an Iraqi judge who issued an arrest warrant for former President Donald Trump because he ordered the assassination of a global Iranian terrorist responsible for the murders of more than 600 American military personnel.
So Biden's incompetent Department of Justice
let him in.
Was going to let this guy hang out with him.
Mm-hmm.
The guy that called for the arrest of a former... Well, hold on a second. Our own U.S. government has called for the arrest of a former president.
Well, that's
so
true.
It's kind of the same thing. Oh, God.
Jeez. Fox News Digital exclusively learned last week through a source with firsthand knowledge of his travels that the alleged pro-Iran regime jurist Faik Zidan was set to visit the DOJ. When asked about the visit prior to cancellation, a State Department spokesperson told Fox the Supreme Court Judicial Council President Faik Zidan is going to be hosted by the Department of Justice, so we defer to the DOJ to discuss their meetings. We engage with a wide range of counterparts in Iraq, and we value engaging the Iraqi judiciary. The DOJ meets regularly with foreign judicial leaders.
Oh, good. That's good.
And even from terrorist states. So that's, we got that going for us. You thought they weren't winning friends and influencing people, when in fact they are. According to a separate source familiar with Zidan's invitation to the DOJ, the judge told many U.S. officials the DOJ invited him to D.C. The appearance of working at cross purposes between the State Department and DOJ suggests there may have been tension over the invitation.
What? Why would that be?
Well, this says due to his pro-Iranian regime rhetoric and conduct.
How did these people get into the country to begin with? I
don't know.
Like we have good people trying to immigrate here.
Yeah, Jonathan, what's his face?
Jonathan Dunn,
Ireland,
officially an American,
for years wanted to get here and become an American citizen. For years they told him, no,
they go about it the right way, the legal way.
Mm-hmm.
And they're lucky if they get in.
Sorry, no vacancy.
Yeah, shoot.
Are you a white guy?
Shoot.
Yeah, we can't have that. No, I'm sorry. But we are admitting Iraqi judges that hate America. Are you one of those? No? Sorry, we can't accommodate you then.
Because if you had said yes, we would have rolled out the red carpet for you at a government headquarters.
Indeed, we would.
But shoot, you just...
Dang it!
You're not the guy.
Darn, we wanted you to come so badly, but
not
you can't.
That guy. Dang it. Yeah, we worked in New York City. You remember Clay, the New Zealand engineer guy?
Yes.
Kept us on the air?
Yeah.
Great guy.
Yep.
One of many people in my life who have tried to explain cricket to me.
Did he really?
And failed.
Where was Clay from? New Zealand, right? Yeah.
So it took him forever, and I know he finally got a green card. I haven't touched base with him in over a decade.
Right.
But I mean, because I'm such a good friend.
Very close.
I wonder how that shook out, because he was thrilled to just at least get that.
Yeah.
And it's like, what incentive? It's not just with immigration. It's across the board. What incentive do you have anymore in this country to play by the rules?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, I don't feel like making my student loan payments. The government will rescue me. I don't feel like making my housing payments. The government will rescue me. It's just... Again, what incentive other than God is watching, and how many people still believe in God in this country that operate their lives that way? What incentive do you have as an American citizen to play by the rules anymore, period?
Just being a good person.
Just being a good person.
That's it.
Yeah. There you go. Woo.
Speaking of good people, the Democratic Socialists of America, backed by the members of the so-called Squad, which now is known as...
the Hamas
Caucus.
Yes.
they're holding a rally in support of the Palestinian cause. Well, they already held it on Sunday, and they're planning another one, so that's good.
Good.
We got that going for us.
Because you got to find justice for Palestinians.
Yeah. Yeah, because, they only killed over 1,000 people in the first day and a half or so. And they really need to kill about 9 million to accomplish their goal, and they haven't yet. They haven't yet accomplished their goal of destroying Israel. So the Hamas caucus is getting behind them and holding these pro-Palestinian rallies to really fire them up and get them to accomplish that goal. And then they'll be happy.
Then there'll be peace.
Well, okay, they won't have, because that's just the little Satan. Then they're going to have to take on the great Satan, which is America, of course. So thank you, Democratic Socialists, the Hamas caucus, for bringing this important issue to the fore. Really appreciate it. Pathetic. I don't know how they keep getting elected to office, but it's despicable. Still have overtime coming up to share with you.
You have some fun today?
Yeah, we're going to have some fun.
I got some fun videos.
All right.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.